jump in with some Warriors Magic talk. Any initial thoughts coming off the night? An ugly game is probably the first thing I think of, at least from the Warriors' perspective. But any initial thoughts on the loss to the Magic tonight?
Man, every time I watch a whole game, we get popped. I'm starting to realize this. But
That's what
yeah,
the
it was ugly.
juju.
I ain't gonna lie. I was watching it at work, so it was
Hmm.
pretty frustrating. It was,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Clay sat out last minute,
Hmm.
and yeah, Wiggins' first game back probably wasn't as pretty, but it was. I don't know. Can't really be too mad at it. It's the first game, big adjustment from Dre,
Hmm.
or pretty much Draymond going from just getting adjusted to Clay to just to
Hmm.
only having Wiggins for a game.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Next game might be ugly too because if Clay comes back, I feel like it's
Still
just I don't
working.
know. It's just a big adjustment. One player could be a big adjustment on a team like ours this year.
Yeah, that was the thing for the Warriors about in the past too. Is they kind of take a couple. You don't notice as much when you're kind of playing well in general for the most part, or you're winning games kind of more
Yeah,
consistently. But they always take a minute to. I feel like Joe, when pieces are coming in and out, it's
yeah,
part of the system they play. Who's getting the shots, where are the shots coming from, who are we playing through. But yeah, I think you hit on every reason why it was such an ugly game. Let's get out the way. It was a tough one. Like I haven't seen the Warriors offense look that stagnant or like that unable to get anything kind of going. There's been stretches, but I think for a whole game or really everything past the first quarter, it felt like just unable to get anything really going offensively. But I think you hit on it. Losing Clay at the last minute, probably just it's tough. You're game planning to do something different on offense, then you got to deal with a guy not being there, bringing Wiggins into the mix. And I think it's just catching up to him. The fact that they probably pulled out I wouldn't say all five wins, but all of those games felt like they kind of were pulling wins out of their ass in one way or another, and it seems like it's kind of just catching up. It's like these last two games have been catching up with, and this is kind of the team you guys are. You've been playing out of your heads for a little bit, but with the injuries the way they are, they were kind of due for some stinkers, and we're in the middle of two of those, so we'll see how where it goes from there. Any thoughts? I don't know if you caught some glimpses, but any thoughts just on the state of the team? If you want to jump into the state of the homestand, how they've been playing. Yeah, any thoughts?
No, it was interesting. I didn't see much of the game, but to hear both of your guys' perspective
Hmm.
on it, definitely feels like, yeah, like they had to slow down at some point after what was kind of just a really, really impressive streak there that really shocked. I think it was shocking all of us.
Hmm.
Um, but what I did catch was I think it said the Magic have only lost like two of their last 7 or 8 games or something like that. It was
They
something
had
pretty
a.
impressive. I don't,
He was referring to a run they had, like that stretch where they beat the Celtics back to back. They were like
yeah, that was a
seven
part
and
of
nine or
that,
like
but this
9-11 stretch. I think that's what he was referring to. That's a little bit in the past now,
okay,
but
okay,
yeah.
okay, a little bit past that. Yeah, they're just such an interesting team. The times that I've jumped in and out on them this season, so I can get why it seems like maybe a frustrating loss for a team who's been playing. No matter who you are, the Warriors are not a frustrating loss to lose to the Magic when you've been winning. You've been putting consecutive wins together. But from what I've seen, the Orlando Magic are a very interesting team, and I'm just not surprised at all. I guess we're looking at even just the box score here, seeing that any given night, I feel like they can give teams a lot of problems. Just seem really interested in. Who did we? The game before this was Detroit, right? You just I feel like two teams that are just so interesting. I feel like that on a night to night basis, you never know how hard of a punch you're actually going to get from them, and if you're not in the right, so you're dealing with the Clay Wiggins Clay being out, last minute dynamics. You can see Wiggins' first game back dynamic is just one of those games where you do get sucker punched by the
Hmm.
Pistons and the Magic because there's talent on those. There's talent. Talent. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see if I can get the box score up so the people can see it. But yeah, no, I think Bankero was probably one of the biggest standouts. He just had himself a really good night actually.
yeah.
I think
Oh,
25
he's a
points, but just he kind of worked. I mean, every time I feel like the Warriors kind of got something going. He ran off some buckets or hit a big shot. So, um,
I feel like that's what I would say. Feel like maybe this transitions into the kind of the streak or everything since Christmas that we've seen. But Clay, as quickly as Clay found himself, with him being out for a game, I think just interesting to see how quickly they learned to rely on Clay. when it felt like that was never something we were going to be able to do this season. And then
Yeah.
it quickly became reliant on play for offense. Hearing you talk about Mike talk about the offense and how bad it looks today, or
Mm-hmm.
how frustrating, how tough it looks today. But I could see that play really became this light that we did not became this light that we kind of did not see coming, given how dark his season started, and just to all of a sudden, last minute scratch him out the lineup, coming off of a loss, the first one of those we've had in a while. I could see just them looking really bad on one or both of the ends of the court. Especially offense the way this team is. It feels like, and like you guys, like said, what Jordan was saying with the Wiggins thing, because it could take a while for this team to like figure things out. And like Mike, you piggybacked on that, is they slow things down to figure it out. It's why the beginning of the years are so frustrating, because they really slow Steph Curry really slow things down to figure out what the hell they're working with. So anytime one little piece changes, like it is something, it can throw them off a lot, because they're gonna slow things down no matter what, and try to figure out what to do next, because the pieces change. So today was a weird day. Clay late scratch, Wiggins back in the lineup, and that old man,
And
number
test,
9,
test.
Yeah, you there? I got
Long.
you.
decided,
Okay.
decided to put the kicks on.
And our leading scorer, or did he lead in scoring?
Who was
Anthony
it?
Lamb.
Oh boy,
Yeah, if he's
Yeah.
our best player, yeah, this
Yeah.
not. Yeah, we gotta
It's
make
not
some adjustments. Draymond and Steve gotta
figure
get in
something
the
out. Yeah.
lab.
Yeah.
Andre Iguodala, 12 minutes, 0.0000.00. Oh,
And hey, no, even,
what did he get?
even. I
What did he
think
get? Oh yeah, he's even.
he was even somehow. I don't know that, or no, that's points. My bad. I think it might be off. Yeah, no, I'm still even. Yeah, somehow, some way,
0 points and
zero
even.
points even. But yeah, no. Any other thoughts? You have some points I think I want to get on, kind of more like big picture or just homestand big picture. But any other thoughts just on this game? Again, it's a weird game. Ben Carroll looked good. I don't know. Magic are a team like this. If you caught them enough, they're a young team. They're going to be days that doesn't like this, but when it does come together, they got a lot of young talent. It came together really well. I think all their guards played well. We're hitting
I
shots.
think that was
Your
my
boy
first
Markel.
time.
Yeah, go
Oh
ahead, my
yeah,
bad.
Oh my
no,
boy.
that was my. Yeah, Markel was going crazy, and what's it called? Ben Carroll. That was my first
Yeah,
time actually watching just a full Magic game. So
yeah,
trying to, I don't know who to compare Ben Carroll to. Like, it's not K. I feel like he's stronger than KD already. It's just like,
mm-hmm.
or yeah, at least comparing like rookie year to rookie year. Maybe like
Yeah, yeah.
KD's, maybe even KD's like first 3 or 4 years.
Say
It's
it's
like
different comp.
it's
You
already
said because
stronger.
he's
It's just
He's
I
body
want him to
type.
shoot more threes.
Yeah,
Honestly, just yeah, you
when
know what
he's
I mean. I
hitting
feel like
them,
that's
man.
gonna come along.
Yeah, he hit 4, I think, today against the Warriors. But I was gonna say it's
Yeah,
weird. He has more of a he's got more like Ben Simmons body type
yeah,
KD as far as just like I guess projects. That projects probably even could fill out a little more. I think his thing stands out with him is he's just kind of a force attacking the rim actually, and he's got pretty good touch with the jumper already. So yeah,
yeah.
it's hard to find a comp. It's weird. It
I
almost
got
feels
two
like
names. Go
LeBron,
ahead.
like, but obviously not LeBron. But he's got like really
yeah.
similar style of play, like at least in how he kind of attack the game as a scorer. He's not as LeBron as a passer, like really on offense, but as a
Yeah,
scorer at least he's got similar
yeah.
vibes to me.
I got the real Jabari Parker and Corey Maggette, which I feel he's better than both of those things, but that's all the
Hmm.
comp I really have for him now. Is like a much better version of Corey Maggette in a more modern game, coming from a more modern game, and then
Yeah.
a much more evolved version of Jabari Parker. Like to get back with Jabari Parker, like kind of what
Hmm.
Jabari Parker was kind of supposed to be. He's gonna hit all. This dude definitely hit already hit potential, whereas Jabari, like, it was so questionable what was going to happen those first couple years. Like, how do we know this is 28 games? It's going to be 28 games. Whatever the hell happens, going from here is all star to superstar level, I guess. But I don't know. Yeah, those are two names I probably compare that dude to. It's the physicality, the eating the contact, getting his own bucket. So, like, those are things Corey Maggette did, and I think things we thought Jabari Parker was going to do.
Yeah, no, the core. I mean, the physicality in his game. I get the Corey Maggette there. I think that's a good way to try to kind of capture the way he attacks, like, or like kind of seeks out contact on drives and stuff like that. I think Jason Tatum's just realized Jabari Parker, which I think that's kind of the thing. That is the part with Paolo that is interesting, where he brings that kind of physicality. I think you were saying Maggette is good. I was saying like LeBron again, not like because of that level, but just a style like kind of thing. But I think you mixing that with what he wants to add early on in the game is the Duke mid range, the Duke tall mid range shooter thing, the Ingram, the Tatum, kind of that part, and being able to hit from different spots on the court. So, yeah, we'll see, man. Kid looks really good. It's cool to finally get to see him. Yeah, your boy Markel had some good moments. Good, he's got mid range jumper down. But yeah, no. Overall, again, not a whole lot. It felt like a loss. Just once he kind of started to get away, it just kind of got away. He couldn't really feel it come together. Lamb was the only bright spot, and even that kind of disappeared in the second half because, like Jordan saying, you don't want to rely on a two-way guy or just a guy of Lamb's caliber to be the person carrying the offense. Which again, never is the plan. He was just kind of masking the fact the offense really wasn't great all day.
What did Poole shoot?
It was bad again. Let's see. I'll go back to the box score real quick, see if there's anything else. We want 5 for 17, 2 for 11 from 3, 9 for 10 from the line. Yeah, I'm just starting to get the point. I don't think he's going to make threes this year. I don't think it's going to happen with any real consistency. It just seems like there are times it's going to be there, but I think overall he's going to be a 30% free throw shooter this season.
I used to want Jim Barnett to grab Harrison Barnes by the shoulders and tell him what to do with his game.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want Marcus Thompson to tell Jordan Poole that he can be Rodney Stuckey in his sleep, and he should sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, there was a point in the game where he was the person that had taken the only layups. Like they shot the first 17 shots, 15 were threes, I think, type thing. Yeah. So it's just I don't know. I think he's just reaching the limitations of his. When it's there, it's there. But I guess he's just seeing like when the pressure's on you. I think it was this game, last two games, because both teams have big bodies around the rim. Even if Detroit doesn't have the best rim protectors, Orlando's a team like between like Wendell Carter Jr. They do have some guys that can protect around the rim. And it's just I don't know. He's gonna always take. I know a lot of people. I think everybody's just it's gonna be the thing. You see him take more than 8 threes in a game, you're gonna wish he took less. So yeah, I think it could help. I guess I could see it. Yeah, but as Marcus's thing, always get on the mid-range, always get into the layups. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like the joke gets to the. I think I take more so with this team, especially with the players, Poole and everyone younger than him. But with Poole's probably specifically, I can probably take the comfort. I try to take the comfort in the long-term development, not knowing what it looks like. But I can even I guess how good he is I can accept that he may never be over a 35% 3-point shooter. Again, kind of by season, he can still be an all-star level player, kind of year to year.
I think it's another day to day. Like even his bad games, he gets 21 points because he gets to the line 10 times. That's why his efficiency hasn't been awful, even though his shooting or his 3-point shooting at least has been. Is because he's kind of figuring out the other parts of it. Anything else on this game before we do kind of bigger picture though about a lot of it because there's a lot to get into with all of them. Probably need to talk about Poole's struggles because it's been a lot worse than it's been tonight. So, but there's a lot to get into. But anything else about tonight's game?
Nah. Bigger picture, I got something to open up with.